1988 CR500 rebuild. We are going to attempt to rebuild this baby. We've done a lot of rebuilds here, but we're going to try and show you guys how to do it. I don't know if it's going to be the normal way or the redneck way, but we're going to get her done. So anyway, I've already taken off the seat, 2 bolts here, taken off the side panels there, and taken off the air filter. It was making some funky noises. So we just said it's probably about time to...
Last time it was rebuilt was like
1994 was when it had its last rebuild. So it's only about 20 years overdue. Not bad. So we're going to take it step by step and go from there. Okay, so we've taken off the subframe bolt here and the one on the other side, and then there's a bolt right here. You just pull that out. It's supposed to come out. Yeah. Well, you know, when it hasn't come apart for 20 years, it's going to need a little bit of help. Okay. Special tool number 31.257. There she goes. Pull that out. Put it where you won't lose it. Just like that. Alright, and then the subframe should just come right off. We loosened up the boot here on the carburetor, so it ought to slide right off. Well, we'll see if it slides right off. It should. Alright, there we go. When in doubt, apply excessive force. Unfortunately, the front one came off and not the back one. Okay, so then the subframe comes right off like that. Then you just put it somewhere. We can clean it up a little bit later, make it look real pretty. Then we got the carburetor right here. So to take off the carb, pretty simple. Just unscrew this baby right here. Ooh. Notice we're doing it inside with gasoline leaking everywhere. Always use great precaution. What? Good thing we live in Florida. Otherwise, we'd have to have the wood stove on with gas in here. What do you think? Alright, so the carb comes off. Alright, we take that, we're going to put it somewhere over here. Okay. And then we're going to take off the gas tank. Whoa, baby. Take off the gas tank here. Special hose number 32.751. 32.751. High-tech hose. Alright, then you're going to take this gas tank off. Okay, so there's a couple bolts I forgot that are up here in the tank. We'll always put those in a safe place. Okay, and then the tank just slides off. And then you want to put this tank preferably away from a wood burning stove, okay? Alright, so we're getting there. Okay, we're going to take off the pipe now. You got two springs, mine has 3 on it. And then, so what we're going to do, we're just going to take these little doohickey thingamajigger jobber springs here. Special part number 82471383. Okay, so we're going to just take that. That one's a little worn there. Then there's one on the bottom. You're going to grab that, baby. And, let's see here. You know, you got to be a buff guy if you're going to be working on a 500, because if you're riding a 500, you're going to be a buff guy. I mean, why would I stoop to want to ride a 450 when I can have the incredible exhilaration of riding a CR500, 65 horsepower? Why would I want to stoop to get a 50-some horsepower 450 when I can have a 65 horsepower? Okay, come on over here, cameraman. So we got just a couple little screws here, well, bolts I should say. So we're going to take that one off here. Just real simple, like that's an 8 millimeter. Going to take that bad boy off. I got an FMF pipe on here. I bought this bike used, man. It's been a good bike, especially since it hadn't had a rebore since 1994. You like it? And it's 2014. So anyway, we're just going to take this one off right here. I've already loosened up because it's kind of hard to get, and I got the wrong socket. I should have a smaller one in here. We're getting it here. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Thanks for your patience. Okay, you can see we got the pipe off now. Just had to finish taking that one screw off. And you can see how we meticulously put our parts in order over here. Everything is in order, you see that? Okay, that way you'll know exactly how to put it together with expedience. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna drain the antifreeze out of here real quick.
Okay, that's my assistant talking. So, I loosened up the radiator cap, and that's probably been 20 years since that thing's come loose. Only the highest quality Harbor Freight tools from China are used here. Quality. That's our helper dog. Whoa, baby! Look at that! Look how clean that antifreeze is. That shows you that 20-year antifreeze can still be used. And they said it couldn't be done. All right. All right, looking good. Even bikes have to go potty once in a while. That's our moto dog there. Okay, take it. Now we're going to take off the radiators. You got a bolt here, an 8mm bolt here, 8mm bolt here, and then you got a hose clamp here. We're going to take this one off here. Okay, we can take it off here. Now we're going to, or we can just take it off here on the bottom and leave the one on the top. Make life easy. So, let's see here. So I'll just take this one off here. All right, my assistant is holding the bike. We'll just take that off. And these hoses have not been off in 20 years, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty cheap, so I'm not sure if I'm
a little bit more probably.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be replacing these hoses or not, but I probably will. Okay, there's one. All right, and then I'm just going to take off these right here.
And don't forget right here.
Okay, I've disconnected the two bolts and this hose clamp here. I'm going to take off this hose clamp. I don't need to take it off here. I can, but I don't need to. I'm going to take off this one, and I'm going to take off these ones here and this one here. I don't need to, but it's going to give me, well, I do need to, but it's going to give me room. So, and I'm going to disconnect it down here on the bottom off this side here. Okay, that way I can pull everything off in one unit. Okay, we got the bolts undone, the hose is all disconnected. There's a hose that goes from this one to the other radiator. The lower hose, we disconnected that, and then the whole thing just lifts right off. Voila! That's what you got. That's what you're looking at. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, what we're going to do now is take off the head stay. I've already loosened them up here. So you have a 14. You got a 14mm nut and bolt here. Okay, on this for the head stay, and then this. See, and then over here you got this is your 12s here. So we'll just take that off, and then after that we're going to take off the head here. Okay, and then we'll see. Start getting inside this engine. Okay. So I'm just loosening it up, and when you're loosening these up, you want to kind of go crisscross. So that's just because it's an aluminum head on these things, so you just want to be just real careful. You don't have to be super extreme, but just kind of back and forth, and just till you get the tension off, and then after that you can just kind of take them off by hand. We're going to take a look here and see what we got. This baby hasn't been off for 20 years, so. Who knows, maybe some cockroaches are going to come out of there. We got them down here in Florida. Alrighty. Yeah, okay. By the way, some of you across the United States there, we've got a little piece of property we ride on out there in Groveland, and that's not too far from Ryan Villapoto's track there. So I'd like to say he's our best buddy, but we're country cousins. Alrighty. Okie dokie, I got, let's see, this last nut here, and we're going to see what, now you're going to see what this is what a big piston is all about, folks. Not this sissy stuff. Here we go. This right here, that's a piston. Take a look at that bad boy, folks. That's a piston. Yeah. All right. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to take off these 4 bolts here. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. Nice thing is about a 500, they don't have the old power valve, so we're just going to take them off, take the jug right off. All right. Okay. Look at that, everybody. Look how clean that head is. I haven't put any cleaner or anything on it. That's how it came out. I just wiped the oil out of there. That's pretty impressive for 1988. Top end hasn't been done in 20 years, since 1994. Okay, thought you'd want to see that. Okay, we got the 4 nuts off. Sometimes these things can be a rascal to break it loose. So you just take the rubber mallet there and just gently tap it. And if it still doesn't come off it, hit it a little harder. And if it still doesn't come out, 16-pound sledge. So just getting there, folks. TV land. So we're just gonna loosen it up and then just see if we can work her loose. Okay. One other thing you want to do for it to clear the frame here, you've got to take off this exhaust manifold here. The pipe goes onto that, so we're just taking it off. That's 2 8mm bolts there. Pretty dirty, but you got to take it off anyway to get the cylinder bored. They're going to have to, more than likely, they're going to take that off. Actually, there wasn't 2. There's so much crud there. There's actually 3 bolts that hold on that manifold. You can see here. All right, so we'll just put those so we don't lose it. Okay, this is the moment of truth. We're going to lift it straight up, very carefully, and we're going to wiggle it. Okay, real easy. Okay, real easy. Okay, you want to crank it down there a little bit, real slow. Okie doke, there's the big piston. Now I want to share a couple of things real important. Always make sure you put paper towels in here for a couple of reasons. Number one, you don't want garbage falling down into your lower end, especially when you're redoing it. Second of all, I'm going to take out this little circlip here. I've already got it started because you don't want this thing to pop out, because if it goes down in there in your crank, you're dead. So you take that out. You're going to take this little thing out right here, okay? Set that down. Now what you're going to do is I'm going to grab with my helper here, okay, hold that light there. I'm going to take and I'm going to pop this pin out here, okay? I'm going to go from the other side. I don't need to take out the other circlip because I'm just going to knock out, there's a little pin that comes out here, so I'm just going to knock that out there. You can see it'll come out. Okay, see that? I'm just going to knock it all the way through there. Okay. And once I get that all the way out, then the piston just comes right off like that. And here are your needle bearings. I would suggest you replace your needle bearings, you know, when you get a piston kit every time. So you're going to replace the needle bearings. You're going to get 2 new circlips. You can see there's a little groove in here. That's where the one circlip goes. Okay. And then these needle bearings go in the crank here, which will go like that. Okay. This pin goes through here, and then you make sure you put that circlip on. Make sure it's seated really well, because if you don't, that thing pops out. It's ugly. I had one pop out years ago. I'm showing my age on a 125 Elsinore when I used to race those, and it wore the thing down. Okay, now I'm going to show you something else here. Here's how you determine whether the lower end bearings are good or bad on your crank. You grab your crank like this, okay, and you're gonna try and see if there's any up and downward play. Okay, there's no play. Man, I thank the Lord for that. There's no play in this crank right here. If there was, I would, now side by side, that's okay. Okay, but up and down, you don't want to have any play whatsoever, because if you do, your lower end bearings are bad. I one time put a 125 together with bad lower end bearings because I wanted to race really bad. Slapped the top end, new top end on there, and it ate the lower end bearings, shut them up the transfer ports, destroyed the top end, destroyed everything. So it's not worth it. So you want to do it right. Okay, so that's a good bottom end there. That's good. I'm excited about that. I want to show you all something. This is a 125 piston. Well, you can see it's kind of in bad shape. That's a 125 we rebuilt. That's a 125. Here's a 250. Now you ready for a real 125, 250, 500, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's sweet. So that's a piston and a half. You can see there's a difference between a 125, a 250, and a 500. These babies say, hang on, baby, you're going for a ride. This baby will take you for a ride. So, okay, just wanted to show you that. Okay, I wanted to show you all a little piston collection here. And just to show you the importance of doing your top end in a timely manner, here's a 125. Take a look at that head. What happened there is it ate a ring and it shot it up the transfer ports and put the ring, the broken ring beat the daylights out of the head, and you can see what it did to the piston. Pretty ugly, huh? Okay, this is a 250. See the crack right there? That's a cracked piston. That thing was ready to eat itself, okay? That's ugly right there. That's the back of a 250, okay, that did break off, which is real ugly. Now, I want to show you something. This is a 500 I just took out. See that little crack right there? There's a crack right there. That's what happens when you start getting piston slap. That's where it starts getting worn, and then the piston starts to slap back and forth, and you start to get a crack. If I'd waited too much longer, that would have gotten worse and worse, and it would have done that. Or it could be anything. So anyway, words of warning: take care of your bike, man. Take care of your bike. Okay, another thing that we're going to do, I've got the cylinder off here. Make sure you clean the cylinder up. I always make sure everything is really like surgically clean. Get all the grime and gunk off, and man, make your bike look good. And also, I'm going to bring this in to get it bored out. You're going to want to remove all of these 6 bolts that are holding on your reed valve, your reed cage there. For some of you newbie guys that don't know exactly what's going on, a reed valve allows the gas. Back in the 1970s, maybe some of you remember showing my age here, the Honda Elsinores. They came out, they didn't have reed valve. If the bike fell over, it would load up, and you might be winning a race or whatever, and that thing would just go, whoa. You have to wait for it to go wing and clear out, and then you could take off. Well, the reed valve stops that. It allows the fuel to go in and not come back into the carburetor and load it up. So it just keeps everything flowing in one direction, okay? So you're going to want to remove all 6 of these bolts, take the cage out, because to bring it in, to get it bored, they're going to want to have that off more than likely. Another thing. Okay, guys, I just took off the 6 bolts there off the reed housing, and you can see there it is. Now it's ready to be taken in to get bored. Here's the reed valve. Okay, you can see it. Alrighty, that's it. This is a pretty cool idea, y'all. I did this back in the 70s, but you can take right here with these transfer ports here. You can take, if you're very careful, some emery cloth and clean that up, and you can shine those babies like a mirror. And you will notice, I did that with a 125 years ago, polishing the ports up, and man, the throttle response is amazing. So I might do that. Of course, when you get it bored, you're going to want to make sure that they camphor the ports, because if you don't, you'll catch a ring. So just clean everything up, make it look real good. I'm going to bring the piston. So that's what it's looking like right now on a 1988 CR500. Hey, I want to show you all something pretty cool here also. I picked up this engine. It's a 1991 CR500 engine, and I got the radiators with it. I got a pro circuit pipe and silencer. Got a lot of goodies in there, man, for like $500, $550 bucks. And I was going to make, thinking about making an AF, a CR500 AF, and putting it in this aluminum frame. I picked up this bike, got a steel on it. The only problem is that it's so good. It's such a good run in 250, man. I almost feel like it'd be a crime to take off the 250 engine and put a 500 on it. But man, it's a sweet bike. It's a 2000, man. It handles real well. The 2001 was probably the best engine, two-stroke engine that Honda made. 2000, 2001, they were real good. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. Another thing, it's a great idea, once you get the carburetor off, clean that baby up, man. Get all that garbage off the inside, outside. Get some good carburetor cleaner and spray it. Just get everything really cleaned up well. Over here, I'm going to be cleaning up the engine. I have already cleaned up the back. Get all that grime and junk out of there. The shock on this thing, man, the linkage has been squeaking, so I might pull that apart and then grease everything up. Probably be a good idea, don't you think? So, but yeah, get everything super clean, because you don't want junk falling into the crankcase there. And just always make sure that the bike is clean when you're working on it. Okay, everybody, we're ready to put got the new piston in. That's a Wiseco piston. It's actually it was a standard bore, but the cylinder was so worn we had to bore it out to basically second over. I'm not happy about. Here's the bearings here, the rod bearings. You go put them in here like that. Okay, I've already put the rings on. Always make sure that it'll say top on the ring a lot of times, or it'll have a mark on it. On a chrome bore, sometimes it will say you have to put a chrome bore on top and then the regular ring on the bottom. But this one here, it doesn't matter. But as long as, but you see how that little L, that L has to fit underneath that little notch right there, or you mess it up. This is the back of the piston. See the arrow right there? The arrow always points towards the exhaust port. Okay. So what we're going to do, we already put the one circlip in right here. Okay. So we can put the pin in. Here's the pin. So I'm going to take the piston. Now I'm going to put the piston, line that up right there. Okay. A lot of times it's easy just to take this and very gently you get it started there. Let's see if I can find a little rubber mallet here. Or just take a little rubber mallet here, make sure it's clean. Just going to tap it in, get it started. So I've got the needle bearings in there, and then I'm just going to line it up here. Put the piston on there. Line it up, and then just push that little, just push it through here. Once I get her lined up, here if I can get her lined up. Let's see, there we go. There we go. So I just push it all the way in, and there you go. And then I'm going to put the little circlip on the other side here. Okay, there we go. Okay, got it all the way in. Okay, and then I'm going to put the other little circlip. Now listen, make sure you don't, you have the paper towels in here, that thing pops out and goes in your crankcase, yeah, it'll spoil your whole day. Or you'll spend the whole night looking around your shop where it's at. So I usually hold it in with one finger, and then I'll take a little pair of needle nose pliers and hold it with the other end, okay? Okay, here's the cylinder we're going to put on. You can look at that really nice bore there. That looks, they did a really good job on that bore. You want to make sure you wash it out with soap and water really well, and as soon as you're done washing it out with soap and water, put some light oil all inside the cylinder, because that thing will almost rest before your very eyes. So what I did, I actually cleaned up the ports there a little bit. I took some fine emery cloth, and you can see they're shining pretty well, and it's a lot smoother and nicer. So that actually gives you better throttle response. It's not perfect. I just took a little bit of time and cleaned that up. So anyway, we're going to put that rascal on here. Okay, I went ahead and took a bunch of oil, and you want to put oil all over the rings, all over the piston, all over the cylinder inside there. So you want this thing to be, you can't over oil it. So it's really, you want it to be really lubricated. It'll slide on a lot better. What we're going to do, we're going to squeeze these two rings, okay? You can see we're going to squeeze them together and pinch it, and then we're going to put the cylinder down and then pinch the other one and slide the rascal all down. When we get it all the way there, we're going to drop it all the way down. We just squeezed the rings together and dropped the jug on there. Sorry I couldn't have you watch that, as we were kind of needed all the hands here, but it's pretty easy. So what I'm doing now is we're just going to put the nuts on here. Okay, you can see that we're going to put all 4 nuts down. Now on this 500, they said you're to torque the cylinder bolts to 22 pounds per square inch. On the 250, I think they said it was 25, but 22 on the head bolts. So it's supposed to go at 18 foot-pounds. Okay, and then we're gonna cross. We're gonna go cross. We're gonna torque them, and we're gonna do the same thing with the piston. Okay. Okay, we're gonna put the head gasket on, and you can see the cylinders that we just put it on the top there. Okay, we're gonna I cleaned up the cylinder head there. You can see that. So we're gonna put the cylinder head on. And move all that out of the way. All right. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to tighten these crisscross to 18 pounds, okay? Alright. Okay, we crisscrossed, we torqued these down at 22, I actually went 25. Torqued all the head bolts, you crisscross at 18, and then you got the plug on. And this baby has got some compression here. I tell you what, this is actually, after the bore, it's 503 cc's. You can see she's got a little oomph to her. So, but I got the carb on, tightened up the clamp here, so now we're just going to put her back together, put the radiators on, put the subframe, put the shock on. Didn't need to take the shock off, I just took it off because I was going to clean it up a little bit. So it's looking good, coming along. Okay, she's coming together. Got the radiators mounted. You got your 2 bolts going in here and here, and let's see here. Then of course you got your, don't forget you got to hook together your lower radiator hose there, and then you got a bolt inside here. Okay, oops, sorry about that, folks. Yeah, you have a bolt down in here. You see that holds the radiator on, and one right here and one right here. They're 8mm bolts that go in there. Okay, I just screwed these 2 bolts here. That's what's going to hold on the gas tank there. Alrighty, man, this baby's got some compression, so got to put a few more a hose clamp here, and these are all tightened up, so we're about ready to go. Okay, we put the pipe on now, and there's 2 springs right here. You want to, actually this one has 3 springs, but there's 3 springs. Don't forget on the flange that's coming out here. Let me move over here. The flange that's coming out here, there's a couple of rubber gaskets that you want to get on there. Okay, so there's 2 rubber gaskets on the inside of this flange, and you put those on, and then this slides on, and then you just got a bolt here, okay, that holds on a pipe. Then you got another bolt here, but that one, the weld broke, so I'm gonna have to fix that one of these years. So we're getting there. Okay, we just slid the tank on. There's 2 little bolts here on the 88 CR500, just 8mm bolts right here, and on the other side I'm just tightening those up. And then we're cooking with hot oil. Alright, now we're just going to put on, we got 3 10mm bolt and 2 nuts here. Just going to put on the shroud here. Just fits pretty easy. Just fits right on there like that. Pretty easy. Okie dokie. Okay. We just put on the subframe bolt. You got the bolt here, a bolt here, and a bolt on the other side, and then you got the 1 hose clamp here on your carburetor. Well, we're going to put the air filter on it. We're going to put the 2 side plates on it, and then we're going to put the seat on it, and that's going to be all she wrote. We're going to fire her up and just see what happens. Okay, this is the first starting time on our rebuild on the CR500. Woo. Oh, yeah, she got some compression. Pretty good. that's the rebuild on a 1988 CR500. Yeah, it's pretty easy. If you have any questions, you can just leave a message on the YouTube channel. Hope this helps y'all. Take care.